Good morning, I'm Ovidesh Shrestha, and these are the headlines for this hour. Serious differences emerge between the government and judiciary. Government sacks the same person more than once, defying court orders. Earthquake victims to receive an additional 300,000 rupees in soft loans. Provision eased to facilitate reconstruction of houses. Sri Lanka calls legislature session following increasing national and international pressure to decide on Prime Minister conundrum by Monday. And Manchester City enters the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, defeating Fulham 2-0. Serious differences have surfaced between the government and judiciary regarding political appointments. Most of the government decisions on sacking officials of various departments are often stalled by the court, while the government has filed applications to scrap the court decisions. The court has often expressed its reservation on the lack of implementation of its decisions through additional directives. General Manager of Gorkhapatra Sansthan, Basanta Prakash Upadhyay, was sacked during the termination of officials appointed by the former Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba-led government. Upadhyay, however, was restored to his position following an interim order by the Supreme Court. The government yet again decided to sack Upadhyay, who was reinstated by the Apex Court. This prompted the Supreme Court to issue another order nullifying the government's decision. The government's reluctancy regarding the implementation of the court's order has been seen in other instances as well. The situation of the court having to issue several orders in the same case and the apathy to implement the court's decision is seen by the law practitioners as against the rule of law and free judiciary. The administrative decisions contrasting with the court order on issues under the judicial process has drawn criticisms, terming the intervention as inappropriate and biased. Former Supreme Court Justice Girish Chandra Lal is of the opinion that the belief on the judicial system is at the risk of declining because of the government's indifference to follow court orders when it should have made full-fledged decisions at the first place. The earthquake victims who could not rebuild their houses due to the lack of funds will now be able to receive an amount of 300,000 rupees in soft loans. The provision, which was not implemented for 3 years in the absence of a clear policy, has now been simplified. Out of the 800,000 victims, 300,000 have not begun rebuilding their houses devastated by the April 2015 earthquake. Among them, although 200,000 have received the first installment of aid money, they haven't even laid the foundation of their houses, which is a prerequisite to receive the second installment. The National Reconstruction Authority has said that the policy has been simplified to make it easier for the victims to receive up to 300,000 rupees in soft loans from banking and financial institutions to rebuild their houses. Based on the new provision, the victims can receive a soft loan of up to 300,000 rupees within 21 days of filing the application, along with the piece of land as collateral. However, the victims who are rebuilding their houses after receiving the second installment do not qualify for the soft loan. It is now deemed easier for the victims to rebuild their houses, as they can receive an additional 300,000 rupees in aid without any interest applicable. We'll take a short break here. We have more news coming up. Welcome back. Chief Minister of Province 3, Dormani Paurel, has openly expressed dissatisfaction towards the modus operandi of Province Minister for Fiscal Infrastructure, Keshav Stapit. Chief Minister Paurel, who according to sources is trying to sack Stapit, reached Kathmandu to consult with the party leadership regarding the issue. Fiscal Infrastructure Minister Stapit reportedly abused and misbehaved with Chief Minister Paurel at the meeting of the Provincial Council of Ministers held on Wednesday. Chief Minister Paudel had objected to Minister Stapit's modus operandi at the meeting as there were no progress from the ministry, which has a budget of 15 billion rupees. In response, Minister Stapit lost his calm and composure as he abused Chief Minister Paudel. Chief Minister's personal secretary Anup Paudel informed that Minister Stapit has been working against the decision of the Council of Ministers by nullifying the directives of the Chief Minister. Chief Minister Paudel also attributed the delay in the formulation of laws related to the Ministry of Physical Infrastructure due to the slow working style of Minister Stapit. Chief Minister Paudel is now learnt to have reached the mindset to use the constitutional right to sack Stapit. Meanwhile, Stapit has said that a healthy discussion had taken place with Chief Minister Paudel regarding the lack of budget expenditure from his ministry. Minister Stapit has added that disputes within the Communist Party is a normal process. We have more news coming up, but right now it's time for another short break. Welcome back. Sugar imported with the objective of easing supply during festivals like Dasai, Tihar and Chhat is still stored at the warehouse of Salt Trading Corporation, which has resulted in the shortage of sugar in the market. Consumers are compelled to return empty-handed even from the concession stores. In this context, we had asked the consumers regarding the problems they have been facing due to the shortage of sugar during the festivals. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
पेपरहरुमा पत्र पत्रिकामा त सस्तो आयो सस्तो पायो सस्तो पाइन्छ भनेर पत्रिकामा ल्यायो तर बजारमा त्यो मूल्य छैन बजारमा रेट एकदम हाई छ
चाडबाडको बेला जनतालाई चाहिँ सहुलियतमा नदिने चाडबाड सिद्धिएपछि यो चाहिँ एकदमै गलत तरिकाले सरकारको सुनिश्चित प्लान हो यो पब्लिकलाई दुःख दिने
उपभोक्तालाई चिन्ने दिएर व्यापारी मोटाउने र कमिसनको चक्करमा केही हुनुपर्छ
साइल ट्रेनिङमा सोध्न जाँदा हामीलाई कोही निर्णय नआइसकेको हुनाले हामीले बेच्न सकेका छैनौं अब त्यो जनता समस्या बुझेर सरकार जिम्मेवार हुनु पर्यो दिनु पर्यो टाइमली
बोर्डर नजिक इन्डियाबाट ल्याएर हामीले 2 रुपैयाँ ज्यादा दिएर चाहिँ चिनी खरिद गरिरहेका छौं
तस्करहरूलाई चाहिँ मौराउनको लागि हो कि जस्तो हामीले चाहिँ आशा गरेका छौं
65 रुपैयाँ सरकारले दिने भनेको यिनीहरूले दिइराखेका छैनन् किन राखेको गोदाममा
It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's the question. Why have the non-governmental organizations compromised with quality in construction of residential facilities for the earthquake victims? Your options are A, absence of monitoring, B, intent of irregularities, and C, local communities lacking awareness. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for the sports news.
Sports news.
Nepal has crashed out of the semifinals of the SAF Under-15 Championship. Nepal suffered a demoralizing 4-0 defeat against tournament contenders Pakistan. The first half of the match, played at the Anfa complex in Satdapato, Lalitpur yesterday afternoon, had ended in a goalless draw. Nepal was defensive right from the start of the match. The Nepalese boys were guilty of wasting 2 easy opportunities to put the team ahead. Nepal could not resist Pakistani pressure in the second half as the home side conceded the first goal in the 54th minute through an own goal from Jan Limbu. Mohibullah converted a penalty kick in the 58th minute to double Pakistan's lead. Ullah completed his brace in the 68th minute, while Mudassar Nazar scored in the 76th minute to seal Pakistan's 4-0 victory over Nepal. Pakistan will now take on Bangladesh in the title clash. Bangladesh defeated India 4-2 in a tiebreaker to secure a spot in the finals. Manchester City has entered the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, defeating Fulham 2-0. In the match played at Manchester City's home ground last night, Brahim Diaz scored both the goals for Manchester City. Diaz scored his first goal in the 18th minute of the match to give Manchester City a 1-0 lead. Diaz scored his second goal of the match in the 65th minute and sealed Manchester City's 2-0 victory over Fulham. In the quarterfinals, Manchester City will now face the winner of the match between Leicester and Southampton. And before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. Serious differences emerge between the government and judiciary. Government sacks the same person more than once, defying court orders. Earthquake victims to receive an additional 300,000 rupees in soft loans, provision eased to facilitate reconstruction of houses. Sri Lanka calls legislature session following increasing national and international pressure to decide on Prime Minister conundrum by Monday. And Manchester City enters the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, defeating Fulham 2-0. And that's all for the moment. Our next English bulletin will air at 11 this morning. Keep watching Kantipur Television HD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Have a good morning.